How do you use a YouTube channel for a business? You may be looking at YouTube as a place that you can advertise, and it really can be, but depending on the type of business that you have, there might be a better opportunity for you to not have to pay for any advertising and still generate a ton of leads from YouTube. So what we're talking about here is totally my expertise. We're going to be talking about a whole system that I've created that'll teach you how to leverage YouTube to advertise your business. Okay, so what is this system that we're talking about? We're going to start with step number one is to find a specific question. And so that you know exactly what I'm talking about here, this is the most important step, meaning if you started doing some of these other steps, but you hadn't done step number one first, you're in a lot of trouble. This whole thing is not going to work. So let me switch over here and talk to you about my tree analogy. Okay, so this is an unusual looking tree, but it's perfect for my illustration. All right, so a tree has a trunk. The trunk goes out into branches, and those branches divide, but eventually you get to the leaves. You don't want to make any videos on trunk topics. You don't want to make any videos on branch topics. Every video needs to be a leaf. So what am I talking about there? Okay, so the trunk of the tree represents your core area of expertise. The branches are the different categories, and the leaves represent the very specific questions that people are asking. So we're only going to be making videos that answer people's specific questions. So the first step is to do some research and find a specific question that your target audience is asking. So we're talking about using YouTube for your business. Who are your customers? Who is your ideal customer, your avatar, right? What questions are they asking? And on a bigger scale, people who aren't yet your customers, but should be, what questions are they asking? Okay, once you know that, you're gonna outline your content. Okay, plan 10 to 12 minutes of content just answering this specific question. So that's step number two, is just outline the talking points. Now I specifically said outline. You don't want a word for word script here. We're talking about building a relationship, just having a conversation. I'm not scripted right now. I've got my talking points laid out on the page here, and that allows me to reference them so I can keep on track, but I can just have a conversation with you. Now, 10 to 12 minutes is very key. You need a video that's long enough that you can really build a relationship. And also, if your question is specific, 10 to 12 minutes will allow you to really thoroughly cover the subject. We're not talking about shorts here. Now, I know shorts are popular. I know TikTok is popular, but on YouTube, long format content is actually more popular than shorts. Think about Mr. Beast. He has a shorts channel and he's leveraging shorts, and feel free to do some experimenting, perhaps on a second channel. But if you want to generate leads on YouTube, follow this advice. You want your content to be 10 to 12 minutes in length. Now, when you hit record, we're going to start out recording an intro with hooks. Now, this is key. We're not going to jump into this content that you've outlined yet. We're going to set some hooks. Now, what this does is it creates curiosity about the content. If you don't do a proper intro, then people aren't going to watch all the way to the end. They might start the video and leave because they don't think they found what they're looking for, or they might leave because they already got their answer really quick and they don't have a reason to watch all the way to the end. So you've got to really practice this. And if it takes several takes to do this intro, it's worth it. When you record the content, you know that inside and out. You can probably deliver that in one take and just edit out some pauses. But the intro, you've got to practice this, and you've got to be really good at creating that curiosity. Another way that I like to explain that is you've really got to sell people on the benefit. Like, why should they watch this video? What's going to happen if they watch this video all the way to the end? You might say something like, by the end of this video, you will be able to blank. So when you hit record, focus on the intro, and then you can jump into the content, just recording a valuable answer. Now, we're not talking about a promo video. We're not talking about pitching your services. No programs, don't sell yourself. We're just answering their question, right? We're delivering these talking points that you had in your outline because they came to Google or YouTube, they typed in the question, they found your video, and now you're giving them the answer. Now you may be thinking, now wait a minute, isn't this for lead generation? Don't I want to promote my business? How are they going to know what services I offer? Now that is a future step. That is a future step and not actually a step that we take on YouTube. On YouTube, these are people that have never heard of you before. We're going to warm them up. We're going to build a relationship of trust. So these people are going to trust you. So how we do that is we deliver the answer. We deliver valuable content. At the very end of the video, you're still not selling your services. You're still not selling yourself or any program, but you give them a free gift in a call to action. So what you're selling here, again, is not your programs, but you're selling them on a free gift. Now the gift has to be valuable. Just like the content, the answer that you deliver to them, it is valuable. Well, then you offer a free gift that people who would value this would also value. And that's how they join your email list. All right, so with these 3 steps, you've got your whole episode recorded. Now you've got to create a thumbnail. Now the thumbnail is where you can add a lot of curiosity. We've done research to find the specific question. Okay, that relates to the title of your video. So the thumbnail gives us a lot more leeway. The thumbnail and the title are always displayed together. So you don't need to repeat the title on your thumbnail. You can put text there like realtors never tell you this. And you can put expressions that will really create curiosity like, oh, what's he thinking there? What's that reaction about? You don't need to go over the top. Even Mr. Beast has toned down a lot of his thumbnails. He used to have his mouth wide open in every thumbnail. And just recently he's realized, I don't need to do that. I can show real emotion in my thumbnail. Just a little conversation on that. Our faces can convey tons of emotions, and our brains, as we're looking at each other, we can pick up on subtle little things. So just a little move of the eyebrow or raise of the forehead or like just the subtle things that we do convey emotion. So we don't need to be extreme, but think about it like, well, what does that emotion really look like? And look at the camera and capture your thumbnail image. Now for every episode that we create, we actually design 9 different thumbnails. We do that in a 3x3 grid, so we have 9 different ideas and we look at them and say, I like B2 the best. I like that expression, that captures my attention. I like the text from C3, let's do that. Let's make this other little tweak. Okay, now we got it. I kind of alluded to this, but you've actually got to launch your episode on YouTube. You can schedule that. And the question that we found here, that is the title. That's the title of your episode, no exceptions. If you want people to find you, if you want your episodes to have a built-in audience, again, you've got to start here and then record the video in this way, and you've got to launch the episode with that question as the title. All right, let's talk about this for a little bit. Okay, so once you've given the free gift, now they're on your email list. Well, you've got to nurture them. These people are now in your funnel. When people go to a landing page to join your email list and they explore other places on your website, that's where they're going to see promo videos. That's where they're going to see the branding. You can message them, but you want to nurture them. You don't want to just start blasting them with sales and promotional emails, but give them more value and strengthen that relationship. And every once in a while, invite them to a conversation or invite them to another landing page, a small offer to begin with. So think about what we've done here. People who've never heard of you before that just have a question, you've found them through that question, and now you've brought them in and you've given them value and you've built a relationship. And then when they take the step and they're on your email list, that's where they start to see the promotions from you and your branding. All right, the last step of this whole cycle here is to focus on search traffic. Now, what I mean by that is don't focus on the short-term views. When you launch a video on YouTube, we love to see it take off. We love to see it get huge growth, but that's not how search works. So if you're focusing on search traffic, you'll just start to see a little trickle come in. It might be a view every day. That sounds crazy, but that's the most valuable. So let's say you get 30 views in month 1, you get 30 views in month 2. Month 3 typically increases with search traffic. Maybe it's 50 that month, or maybe it's 100 that month. Then the next month, 150 or 250. Now here's the thing, that's just with one episode. And if you followed all of these steps, now you've got a built-in marketing machine for your business. So you find one question, and you go through all of these steps, and now you've got a marketing machine out there on YouTube. So now what do? Do you promote the video? Do you pay to have a lot of people come and watch this video? And the answer is no. Just let search happen. Focus on the search. You can go to YouTube Analytics and you can bring up a report that shows the search traffic for your whole channel. And you can actually do a comparison where you look at a 28-day period and the 28-day period prior to that. And you can see, oh, last month I had 1,200 views from search. Now I've got 1,450 views from search. The month after that, ooh, I'm up to 1,700 views from search. That's the goal. That's what we want to see, and focus on search. So you do this for one episode, you go back to the beginning, you take another question, and you go through the exact same process. Then you go with another question. Eventually, there'll be one of these branches where you dominate all of YouTube for that entire branch. Anyone that asks a question that's a leaf on this branch, you're the one that dominates, because you've made this video and you've made that leaf video and you've made that leaf video and you made that one and that one and that one and that one and that one. That's why my clients, so many of the channels that I produce dominate on YouTube, is because we follow this leaf strategy and we find out, nope, that branch, that's not for me, that's not my target audience, but that branch is. All right, now as you might have guessed, I have a free gift for you. This is the entire guide, a hero's guide to influence on YouTube. I put 2 years of work into creating this book. I take you behind the scenes on many of the channels that I produce. The book is in full color, so I can show you screenshots of YouTube and really teach you this entire system so you can leverage YouTube to generate leads for your business. Now, this is my gift. You just pay the printing and shipping costs. That's my gift to you. Go to natesyoutubebook.com.